I think chips are crucial in the digital transformation of Europe because chips nowadays are everywhere. So I think it's easier to name a thing that have a chip on it than one that doesn't have one. And for that reason, we cannot lose this opportunity of growing, of building them, of economic part, but also the part of doing something that is sweet for us. And not only that, so that if we do the chips, we are one step further, so that we can also develop and start preparing everything that comes after chips. So all the software, everything that needs to be done after the chips are there, and prepare everything can be already prepared by us, and we can be one step further. In the case of HPC, for example, where I work, it's very important because we need to prepare all the layers of the software stack. And if we are the ones building the chips, we can start before the chips are built, before the chips are on the market. We can start working on all those layers and preparing all the software that we need to be ready when the chips are there. So when getting talent, we have two main issues. The main one probably is that there's not a lot of experts, so it's very difficult to find persons that are trained on this. So there's few of them, and this brings us to the second problem, which is the competition among the different entities, companies that are trying to hire this talent, because at the end we are competing with each other. So you get somebody, you hire somebody, and once it's already in the team and working well, then it moves to another company. So this competition among us, that it's because there's few of those persons ready to take on this work is the issue. Also because we changed from in few years from needing a lot of this expertise. So when we try to attract young people to get in this field, we usually put on them this idea that it's a field with a lot of future, with a lot of projection, with that they will have a job for sure. But I think that it's more important when we tell them is that it's a field that they will enjoy, that they will have fun working on, if they like it. So that the main issue and what I will always tell them is do something that you'd like. If they like it, then it's a field where they will have a lot of fun working on. And about the skills needed, I think there's a lot of logical thinking of this kind of, at the end is like solving puzzles kind of skills. So that's what I say, that it's, if you like it, at the end is you will have fun doing it. For sure, there's a gender gap. I think in all the scientific fields, there's a gender gap, and the closer you get to the hardware, the bigger the gap. So I think that there's no question about that. So the real question is how we can address it, what we can do to maybe not solve it, but make it less big. And I like to think that it's like the same problem that we try to solve with the chips and the hardware and the software. So we need to work at all the layers. It's not enough to build the chips. We also need to develop and to work in everything else that is needed for those chips to work, in all the layers of the software stack. So the same way happens when we are trying to address the gender gap. We cannot work in a single of those layers. We need to be working in all the layers. We need to attack the problem from the very young girls to the high school, to the university. It doesn't make sense that I, as a team manager, complain because there's no female talent there to be hired, and say that it's just the university problem. because then the university says it's because they don't get into high school, and the high school says that there's because they lose interest in schools. So we need to work in the layer that we can. If I can work at my level and hire female talent, but if I can work also and do something at a lower level with very young girls, it's very important that we work in all those levels, in all those layers, because we are losing women in all of them, and it's very important to show little girls that they are good at it, that they can do it, that we need them.